Yes guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I know you've seen the title and I know you've seen the thumbnail. So that would be the reason for you to be clicking on this video. So in this video, I want to provide some tips for new immigrants to Canada. So as you know, I'm a not so much a new immigrant, but I'm an immigrant from Jamaica. By the accent you can tell. So here's what happened now, guys. So these are some tips I would like to provide, like my fellow Jamaicans or Caribbean people or wherever in the world you may have migrated from or planning to migrate from to Canada. So here are some tips. So firstly, okay, let's establish this. So you may have come to Canada on maybe as a student and then transition to a permanent resident, or that's the process that you're seeking to accomplish, or you may have come as a skilled worker. Okay, so let's look at like a skilled worker first. So say for instance you transition now from say Jamaica to Canada as a skilled worker. Be advised that one of the most important thing you will want to do is to establish your credit. And by establishing your credit and maintaining a good credit score. So here are a few things that you will want to do. First thing, you will want to go to one of the financial institution and open a checking and a saving account. And most banks will provide you with a credit card. They will give you maybe a credit card, say with a $1,000 maximum or $2,000. So you will want to protect this credit card with your life, guard it with your life, meaning you do not want to go in default, like missing payments and stuff like that. Okay, so say for instance you're able to get a credit card for $1,000 or $2,000. You may want to repeat this process at maybe 2 or 3 banks because you're now in the process of building your credit. For grocery and shopping, use the credit card and pay off your balance so you don't carry a balance which will incur credit card charges, which is like 19.9%. You don't want to fall into that trap. When you're establishing your credit now, you will be using the credit card and paying off the balance, and before you know it, the bank will increase your limit to say double 4,000. You will go to maybe 8 from there, and keeping a good credit report, you will be able to get 20,000, 30, 40,000 dollars as your credit limit in due time, maybe say within a year. So ensure that you establish your credit and protect your credit. There are two main institutions that checks credit score in Canada. Let me see, TransUnion and also Equifax. So also I'd recommend that some banks will provide you with this where you're able to check your credit score from time to time. There is no penalties, or there's no negative effect of you checking your credit score. And for Equifax, they can provide you a detailed credit score every year, so you can just call them up and request it, or go online and request it, and they'll send it directly to you. So with that out the way, let's move on to say driving in Canada. So one thing I would recommend is, unless you have experience driving in North America or Europe or one of these first world countries, I recommend that you get a driving instructor to bring you on the road, if it's even like maybe 2 or 3 lessons, so you get familiar with the highways. These highways are like 6 lanes, so it's way different from Jamaica, and you will want to go on the road with an instructor to get yourself familiar, so that once you go for your driving test, the process will be smoother. In Ontario, I know there are like 2 levels. So there is a G1, which is what we would call in Jamaica the written exam. So that's where you will do some written tests in terms of the road code and some things like that, signs and things like that. So you will go to one of the what are they called? Um, I'm not sure of the name. I'll put it up on the screen. But you will go there and sign up, pay the processing fee to do your written test, and then from there you can book your driving test, which you have the option if you do have a Jamaican driver's license, and if you're leaving from Jamaica, I do recommend that you also get a history of your driving record. That will allow you to skip from the G2 license, which the G2 license allows you to drive on. I mean, you can drive with it if you're off the age limit. You can drive on highways and stuff, I believe. But you cannot drink any alcohol. Like you cannot consume no alcohol, not even a beer. I would recommend you bring your driving report from Jamaica and just have them address it to say Service Canada or whichever um, agency controls the driving tests in your province that you will be located in. If you bring along your driving report, then you are able to skip from the G2. The G2 would be similar to what we would call in Jamaica a private license. So you're not able to drive like trucks and you're just able to drive like cars. So if you want to go directly to the G license, which is the bigger license, G like the general license, what we would call in Jamaica, then your driving report from Jamaica will allow you to go directly to that level. So once you pass your driving test, now you will be able to buy a motor car, license a motor car, and insure a motor car. And believe me, insurance in Canada is pretty expensive compared to Jamaica. I mean, if you're getting a good insurance rate, it can be for, say, a car like a sedan, maybe like a Honda Accord or something. It can be maybe 180 to 250, depending on, and that would be a good rate per month, that is. You have now established your credit and you now have your driver's license. And I know I may not have them in the direct order because you will also maybe need to seek some form of employment. When it comes to employment now, be sure you will not be able to get maybe the same job that you had in Jamaica. So whichever job comes first, I recommend that you take it. Because what happens is that the job that you may want, they will overlook you because there are other immigrants that have Canadian experience. There are other Canadians that are qualified for that job. This is what you would want to do. You want to take that job. It may be a factory job. Maybe it's a job at Amazon doing some packing and sorting or something like that. But once you get this job, you'll stay in it maybe 6 months. What you will be able to get from this job now is something to put on your resume that is called Canadian work experience. So with that now, you will now be able to apply for a preferable job within your field. Pretty sure you will be needing to have some place to live. Most immigrants, for the beginning, you'll be paying rent. And with rent in Canada, they look at your credit score. So for most immigrants, you may come and stay with a family member for the short term, but you will sure be needing your own place of abode. So this is what you will need to do. As I said before, have a good credit score. So once your landlord will look at things like your credit score, you will need a job letter to really get a good place to rent. If you're able to transition now from renting, as soon as you're able to, I would recommend that you try to purchase some form of property for yourself in terms of living. That may be a condo, a townhouse, or if you're able to afford a single family home, that is great. But for the median price for a single family home in the GTA is just about $1 million. So consider that for the median price of a condo in the GTA that's in and around Toronto, it would be about 600,000 Canadian dollars. And I will break down what you will need for like your deposit in another video, because it depends on the price of the property, how much deposit you will be needing. It ranges from 5 to 20% depending on the property. I'll also do a video breaking down like how a student would transition to become a permanent resident in Canada. So like, share, comment, and subscribe for more content like this. Until next time, I'm out.